Have you ever wondered why some men seem to effortlessly attract the kind of attention from women that leaves others confused, frustrated, or even jealous? Imagine if you could tap into the hidden principles that not only capture a woman's interest but make her crave your presence, without playing games, without desperation, and without losing yourself. What if I told you that Machiavelli, the same strategist who mastered the art of power and influence, has timeless lessons that can change the way you approach love forever? Before we dive in, I want you to do something for me. Pause for a moment and think about your past relationships. Can you recall a time when you felt invisible, overlooked, or unsure if she even noticed you? Or perhaps there was a moment where things seemed to click effortlessly, yet you didn't fully understand why. Keep those memories in mind, because what we're about to discuss will help you understand exactly why those moments happened and how to create them consistently. Now here's the thing. This isn't a gimmick or some shallow pickup trick. This is about understanding the deep psychological dynamics of attraction, influence, and connection. By the end of this video, you'll not just see these strategies on paper, you'll feel them in your own love story. And that's why it's crucial you stick around until the very end, because applying even one of these hidden rules can completely change your love life. So before we begin, make sure to subscribe to Shadow Pysche and hit that like button. You don't want to miss insights that could completely alter the way you experience love. Ready to uncover Machiavelli's secret rules that make women beg for your attention? Let's dive into the first hidden rule. Point 1. Master the art of strategic absence. Machiavelli wasn't just a political strategist. He was a master of understanding human nature, and one of his most powerful lessons, applicable not just in power struggles, but in love, is the art of strategic absence. Think about it. When you're always available, always texting, always saying yes, what do you really create? You create familiarity, predictability, and predictability kills desire. Pause for a moment and reflect. Can you remember a time in your life when you chased someone relentlessly, only to feel drained, invisible, or even frustrated because they didn't notice your effort? Or maybe you were constantly there, giving, and yet the spark faded. That's exactly why Machiavelli emphasized absence. Presence is powerful, but absence creates tension, intrigue, and longing. Let me tell you a story. There was a man named Marcus, not the Roman emperor, but inspired by Machiavelli's own methods. Marcus liked a woman he had met through friends. At first, he followed her everywhere, texting, calls, always agreeing to meet. She was polite but distant. Marcus realized he was investing all his energy without receiving genuine interest. Then he remembered Machiavelli's principle: value is created by scarcity. He pulled back. He focused on his passions, spent time with friends, and didn't chase her. A few weeks later, she reached out, not because he demanded attention, but because she missed his presence. She remembered his laughter, his perspective, his unique energy. His absence made her see him differently. Suddenly, he wasn't just available, he was desirable. Now think about your own experiences. Have you ever noticed that people often value you more when you're not always at their fingertips? When was the last time someone truly missed you, and how did that make you feel? Imagine cultivating that same effect in your love life. It's not manipulation. It's about understanding the psychology of human desire. Machiavelli teaches us that control over presence is power. In love, this power translates into respect, attraction, and influence. By mastering strategic absence, you're not playing games. You're creating a space where she can reflect, desire, and ultimately choose you. Because she sees your value. Ask yourself, are you giving yourself the power to be missed? Or are you giving too much too soon, leaving no room for longing? The moment you understand the balance, you'll see how absence can quietly turn attention into deep, genuine interest. Point 2. Cultivate mystery and intrigue. Machiavelli once said that uncertainty is a source of power. In love, this principle is just as true. People are naturally drawn to what they can't fully understand, to the puzzle that keeps them engaged. When you reveal everything about yourself all at once, you remove curiosity. Mystery, on the other hand, creates tension, excitement, and attraction. Think for a moment. Have you ever been drawn to someone not because they told you everything about their life, but because there was something you didn't know, something that made you wonder? That spark of curiosity keeps your mind invested and your heart anticipating. Machiavelli understood that a little uncertainty isn't a weakness, it's a tool for influence. Let me tell you a story. There was a man named Victor, inspired by Machiavelli's insights, who met a woman named Elena. Early on, Victor didn't reveal every detail about his life. He shared his thoughts selectively, leaving out the minor details that usually fill conversations. He spoke passionately about his hobbies and dreams, but allowed moments of silence and subtle hints of mystery. At first, Elena barely noticed, but soon she found herself thinking about him constantly. What is he really like? She wondered. What does he do when he's alone? She started imagining his life, replaying conversations in her mind, and anticipating their next meeting. Every unanswered question became a thread pulling her closer to him emotionally. His mystery wasn't manipulation, it was the natural unfolding of his story, and she became invested in discovering it. Now reflect for a moment on your own love experiences. Have you ever been captivated by someone simply because you couldn't figure them out? How did that make you feel? Excited, curious, maybe even a little obsessed? Imagine being able to create that effect intentionally in your own relationships, without being deceptive, simply by revealing yourself gradually and letting your story unfold naturally. Machiavelli teaches that power lies in subtlety. In love, cultivating mystery allows her to invest emotionally in you, your energy, your personality, and the unique way you approach life. Ask yourself, are you giving away too much too soon, leaving nothing for her to discover? Or are you pacing your story, letting intrigue build and desire grow? When done correctly, mystery isn't cold or distant, it's magnetic. It makes her seek you, remember you, and invest in uncovering who you truly are. And that, as Machiavelli would say, is real influence, the kind that leaves a lasting mark on her heart. Point 3. Be unpredictable, keep her guessing. Machiavelli was a master at turning unpredictability into power. In love, the same principle applies. Predictability may feel safe, but it's also boring. When a woman can anticipate every move you make, every word you say, the spark fades. Unpredictability, carefully balanced with consistency and values, creates excitement, curiosity, and emotional investment. Think about your past relationships for a moment. Have you ever felt bored or disengaged because you already knew exactly how someone would act or respond? Now imagine the opposite, moments where someone surprised you with something unexpected yet thoughtful. How did that feel? That thrill, that sudden jolt of interest, is exactly what Machiavelli would call a strategic advantage. Let me share a story. There was a man named Adrian who was deeply interested in a woman named Sophia. Early on, he realized that constant predictability was dulling her interest. Instead of always following the same routine, calling at the same time, meeting at the same places, he began introducing small, unexpected actions. Sometimes he'd send a thoughtful message in the middle of the day. Other times he'd surprise her with something meaningful from a past conversation. Sophia noticed. She couldn't predict what Adrian would do next, and it intrigued her. She began reflecting on their interactions, remembering moments that made her smile, and anticipating the next surprise. Every unexpected gesture created an emotional ripple, drawing her closer without manipulation. Just the natural effect of unpredictability paired with genuine care. Now think about your own love life. Have you ever felt someone's presence fade when predictability took over? Or perhaps you've been the one who was predictable, unknowingly dulling the connection? Imagine the effect of carefully chosen unpredictability, subtle surprises, playful spontaneity, and actions that reflect thoughtfulness rather than desperation. It creates a magnetic tension that keeps her invested emotionally. Machiavelli understood that people are drawn to uncertainty because it sparks engagement. In love, this means you don't need to overcomplicate your life or play games. You simply need to break the routine in meaningful ways that make her feel alive and attentive. Ask yourself, are you creating moments she remembers, or are you blending into her everyday expectations? By being unpredictably thoughtful, you create a presence that she thinks about, misses, and longs for, without ever having to demand it. That's influence and that's attraction, Machiavelli style. Point 4. Display confidence without arrogance. Machiavelli understood that authority and influence are rooted in perception. In love, confidence is magnetic, but there's a fine line between genuine confidence and arrogance. A man who embodies quiet strength, self-assurance, and clarity of purpose naturally attracts women. Conversely, arrogance, neediness, or overcompensation repels them. Take a moment and reflect on your past relationships. Can you recall a time when someone's confidence drew you in effortlessly? Maybe it was the way they carried themselves, spoke with calm conviction, or handled challenges without overreacting. That pull, that silent assurance, is exactly what Machiavelli would argue holds real power. Let me tell you a story. There was a man named Luca who met a woman named Isabella. From the beginning, Luca didn't try to impress her with flashy gestures or constant attention. Instead, he focused on his goals, his passions, and his own growth, letting his confidence radiate naturally. When he spoke, it was with clarity. When he listened, it was with intention. He never tried to dominate conversations or seek validation. He simply was. Isabella noticed. She felt drawn to his energy without understanding exactly why. There was no pressure, no games, just a presence that exuded stability, competence, and authenticity. Over time, she began seeking him out, wanting to engage with someone who didn't need to chase or prove himself. Luca's confidence created desire, respect, and emotional investment, all without him saying or doing anything manipulative. Now think about your own love experiences. Have you ever been attracted to someone simply because they knew who they were and didn't need your validation? How did that make you feel? Safe, curious, inspired? Imagine cultivating that presence yourself, letting your confidence show naturally through your actions, decisions, and calm energy. Machiavelli teaches us that influence is not about force. It's about perception. Confidence, when paired with humility and authenticity, creates an aura that draws people in without effort. Ask yourself, are you showing your best self without arrogance? Or are you overcompensating, trying too hard to impress? When done correctly, confidence becomes magnetic. It makes her notice you, remember you, and feel drawn to your energy, all without you chasing or demanding attention. By embodying Machiavelli's lesson of quiet authority, you don't just attract interest, you create lasting admiration and desire. Point 5. Make her feel valued, not controlled. Machiavelli understood human nature better than almost anyone. One of his greatest lessons for influence is this: people respond to how you make them feel, not to how much you control them. In love, this means a woman will naturally be drawn to a man who makes her feel respected, admired, and appreciated, without feeling pressured, dominated, or manipulated. Pause for a moment and reflect on your past relationships. Can you remember a time when someone truly made you feel seen, really seen, not just as a partner but as a person? How did that make you feel? Excited, safe, and drawn in? That is exactly the effect Machiavelli would argue creates loyalty and desire. Let me share a story. There was a man named Raphael who met a woman named Elena. Early in their relationship, he realized that women are not attracted to men who try to control every decision, every emotion, every moment. Instead, he focused on making Elena feel valued. He listened intently, remembered small details she mentioned in passing, and celebrated her achievements without jealousy or condescension. One day, Elena mentioned how much she loved a certain book from her childhood. Raphael didn't just nod. He surprised her with a first edition, showing that he had truly listened and cared. That small act made her feel understood and cherished. She felt seen in a way she hadn't experienced before, and her admiration for Raphael grew naturally. Now think about your own love life. Have you ever tried to control a relationship, deciding when to talk, what to do, or how someone should feel, and noticed how it pushed them away? Contrast that with moments when someone made you feel valued, free, and understood. How did that change your feelings toward them? Machiavelli's lesson here is clear. Influence is not about domination. It's about emotional investment. When you make her feel respected, appreciated, and safe, she will naturally want to be closer to you. Ask yourself, are you building connection through control and expectation, or through genuine appreciation and attention? By making her feel valued rather than controlled, you're not just creating attraction, you're building trust, admiration, and deep emotional attachment. That's the power of subtle influence in love. When done correctly, she doesn't just like you, she respects and desires you in a way that lasts, leaving her drawn to your presence and eager to invest in the story you're creating together. Conclusion. Now that you've discovered Machiavelli's 5 hidden rules, the art of strategic absence, cultivating mystery, being unpredictably thoughtful, displaying confident authenticity, and making her feel truly valued, you have the tools to transform your love life. These principles aren't about manipulation or playing games. They're about understanding human nature, creating genuine attraction, and building relationships that leave a lasting impression. Take a moment and reflect on your own experiences. Think about past relationships. Where did things fade? And where did moments of real connection shine? Imagine applying even one of these rules intentionally. How would it change the way she sees you, thinks about you, and remembers the moments you shared? These are not abstract strategies, they are timeless truths that, when applied thoughtfully, shift the dynamics of attraction in your favor. If this video has opened your eyes, don't stop here. Take what resonates, practice it, and watch your presence, your influence, and your confidence grow in ways that feel natural and authentic. Remember, attraction isn't forced, it's cultivated. And with Machiavelli's timeless insights, you can create connections that are meaningful, magnetic, and memorable. If you haven't already, make sure to subscribe to Shadow Pysche and hit the like button. Your support helps bring more insights like this straight to you. And don't forget to watch the full video from start to finish, because applying these hidden rules can completely change the way you experience love, relationships, and attraction. With that said, thanks for watching, and until next time.